What up guys, Stickman here, welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I'm going to be giving you guys a guide on how to defeat the main story final boss in Sonic Superstars. I know I'm about 2 years late, this might be the latest I've ever made a guide for a current release Sonic game. Nonetheless, I do have to get it out of the way because since we're kind of in a down period with Sonic right now, why not just make the guides I've always wanted to make? This, the trip story guide, and the final story guide. So if you stick around and subscribe, I'll get those out as soon as I can. I highly recommend before you start the fight that you get the blue Chaos Emerald, which gets you the Avatar ability, because that's going to be really useful for this boss. It's really simple to get. I've got a guide up on the channel if you want to know how to get all of the Chaos Emeralds. Just follow the first part and you'll be good. So for the story mode boss, you can play as any character, but I highly recommend you play as Sonic because Sonic has his drop dash, and I feel like that really helps when it comes to picking up momentum as soon as possible. Having that instant burst of speed really helps when dodging missiles. Now that you've got your character, once you make it to the end of Egg Fortress Zone Act 2, that's when you'll be faced with the final boss. No idea what he's called. He looks like a samurai, so I'm going to call him Egg Samurai. I'm sure you already noticed this based on the rest of the game, but a lot of the bosses in Sonic Superstars tend to drag out, and the final bosses are no exception. The only difference is the difficulty spike goes through the roof once you finally get to these bosses. But that's okay, that's why you got me, so I'm going to be showing you how to deal with this fight without taking any damage. But in case you did want to pick up a ring or two, you could do that near this checkpoint. Once you get the rings and go through the gate, the boss is going to take the ground from underneath you, and as you drop down to the arena, so too will the boss start hovering down. The first thing that you have to know is that this boss fight has two phases. During phase 1, you'll be dodging a lot of missiles, energy balls, and making sure you don't fall into bottomless pits, and you will have to deal 6 hits worth of damage to the boss. During the second phase, he will no longer be stationary and he will start chasing you, trying to take you down through taking out the platforms, shooting more energy balls at you, and trying to shoot lasers at you. And this phase will also last about 6 hits worth of damage, meaning that in total you need to deal 12 hits worth of damage onto the boss in order to win this fight. Okay, now you know the general structure, let's get to phase 1. As soon as the boss starts, he'll start firing missiles at you. He'll fire 2 types of missiles. Number 1, these slim red missiles, which you've got to avoid, otherwise you'll take damage. And number 2, these chonky blue missiles, which you will need to curl up into a ball and deflect in order to be able to hit the boss and deal damage. If you're not in ball form and these hit you, they will damage you. And when they hit the ground, they're going to leave behind a giant explosion, which can actually damage you, so be careful. You can hit the missiles by jumping into them or spin dashing or drop dashing into them. But when you hit the missiles, you got to be careful of your positioning. If you deflect the missile while standing anywhere in the front semicircle half of the boss's radius, then he will also deflect it back, kind of using his arms as like a tennis racket to knock away a ball or something, which means you actually didn't hit him. Instead, you need to be positioned so that you're exactly 180 degrees behind him, so that when you deflect the missile into him, he can't defend himself and he takes a hit. So right when the boss starts, the first thing I recommend you do is spin dash to run right behind him as soon as possible. And when you stand exactly behind him, just stop and wait for the blue missile to target you so that you can deflect it and get your first hit. Keep in mind, he's going to be firing these missiles in 3 waves always. What I mean is, he'll fire his missiles, stop, he'll fire his missiles again, stop, he'll fire his last set of missiles, stop, and usually it's going to be followed up with some sort of attack, like either an energy wall, trying to take out the platforms, etc, etc. We'll get to those later. It will certainly take a bit of time to run from the front around all the way to the back, so you're probably not going to be able to hit any blue missiles in the first wave. You will probably hit the missiles in the second wave, and you will definitely be able to hit them by the time you get to the third wave. One last thing, sorry I'm dragging on the explanation, I just want to make sure you guys have this down, and there's quite a bit to go over. So when he fires his missiles, you can actually see a pattern. You'll notice that he shoots out 8 missiles. 4 on the right, 4 on the left. Any missile shot on the left-hand side will land on the left-hand side of this symmetry line. Any missile shot on the right-hand side will land on the right-hand side of the symmetry line. This will give you a really good idea of where the blue missile is going to land. So if you see the blue missile on the right side, you need to start running right. If you see the blue missile on the left side, you need to start running left. But there's one more thing you need to keep in mind. The order in which these missiles are shot out will also indicate where exactly the blue missile will land. For example, in this formation, the blue missile is the last one to get shot out on the left-hand side, meaning it'll land closest to the left side of the symmetry line. And in this formation, it's the second last one to get fired on the right, meaning it's going to be a little bit further to the right of the symmetry line. So basically, the earlier the blue missile gets shot out, the more right or left you need to go in order to catch up to it. Just keep that in mind. And again, remember, stay right behind him, or at least as close to right behind him as possible, so that when he fires the missiles, you have enough time to run as far right or left as possible without running so far in either direction that you actually end up hitting the blue missile somewhere near the front half of the Egg Samurai. Alright, lengthy explanation over. Let's get back into the main fight one more time. When the boss starts, start spin dashing to make your way over behind him as soon as possible. Again, you're probably going to miss the first wave of missiles, that's fine. When the second wave of missiles get fired out, look for the pattern, find out where the blue missile is going to land, deflect it, and there's your first hit. After he gets hit, he's going to bring up a set of firewalls. All you have to do is just stand somewhere in between them all, and you won't take damage when he pushes them out. These obviously get more complicated later on, but we'll get to that. Now to get the second hit, once again, you've got to go all the way around until you're behind him and deflect the blue missile. Keep in mind, he'll be shooting out 2 blue missiles early on, so it's kind of generous, but don't get used to that. It'll turn into 1 really soon. After your second hit, he'll start to ask if you want the smoke, bro, and then slam his arm, leading to the collapse of the platforms behind you. The yellow electricity coursing through his helmet will signal when he's going to slam his arm. You'll be fine as long as you keep running in any direction before and after the slam, and you just gotta make sure you dodge these energy balls. Another pro tip, as you're running around, watch out for these little extra platforms. Just make sure you jump over them so that you don't get trapped. Eventually the platforms that fell will raise back up again, then you gotta get your third hit. Once again, go around, hit the blue missile, yada yada yada. When you get the hit, he's going to raise another set of firewalls. This time it's going to be a little bit more tricky. Depending on where you're standing, go right to squeeze in between the firewalls, or go left and then jump when you see the flash so that you can jump into the square shape and avoid taking damage. Once again, you've got to go around and get the fourth hit, same procedure as before. After the fourth hit, his "you want the smoke, bro" move is going to be much more complicated to dodge. This time he'll slam both arms onto the platforms, but again, as long as you're running and then you jump, you should be able to make it over these floating platforms and then continue just like you did before. By the way, the platforms he shoots up into the air will actually fall back down, so definitely make sure you jump off of those or you will die. Once again, dodge the energy balls, go for the fifth hit, and then dodge the upcoming firewalls. When you finally get the next hit in, you will have dealt 6 hits worth of damage, meaning the end of phase 1 is finally here. And for a moment, you're gonna think you won. But of course, Eggman's a dirty cheater and he's going to reverse time, fixing up the Egg Samurai, and you're going to be at the start of phase 2. So during phase 2, Eggman is going to land on the left-hand side, he's going to start breaking the platforms, and you've just got to keep running on the right. And the most important tip that I can give you here is, while you're running, make sure your eyes are on the right-hand side of the screen as much as possible, making sure you look out for these hill platforms so that you're always jumping over them ahead of time, because if you miss just one of these and jump too late, you will definitely get trapped and killed. Keep running right, eventually he's going to keep speeding up, and it's okay, you're never going to get hit as long as you keep holding right. Eventually he's going to do one final hit. When you're at the right most of the screen and you stop moving right, immediately start making your way over to the left and jumping onto his head to deal damage. Now listen to me carefully when it comes to this next hit. This one is sort of optional, you don't have to do this, but I highly recommend you do it. It definitely saves you a lot of time. It's just a little bit trickier to get down. Eggman will launch you into anti-gravity mode, and you've got 2 options. 1, you either just wait it out, wait for the energy balls to pass you by, and then he'll put you back down and you can move on to the next hit, or you can actually deal an extra hit during this part. Right before he enables anti-gravity, jump so you can get as much height as possible right away, and then you've got to start slowly making your way through the energy balls, making sure you avoid getting hit as much as possible. Take your time, but don't take too much time because you're not going to be able to hit him. I don't know if this helps, but jumping curls you into a ball, and I think maybe it moves you slightly closer faster. So just keep doing that until you're right above his head, and when you're right next to him, time it so that when you hit the jump button, you curl into a ball and attack his head, dealing a hit of damage. When you're done with that, you'll drop back down and he's going to be chasing you once again, asking you if you want the smoke, bro. And this time he'll line up 3 satellite-looking dishes vertically so that he can shoot lasers at you. And don't get too distracted by the lasers. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep looking right. Always focus on the path ahead of you, making sure you're jumping over upcoming hills. That said, you should still kind of look out for the lasers too. When firing the lasers, first he'll shoot out a test empty beam, which won't do any damage, so it's fine if you hit this thin beam, but immediately after that, he's going to fire the actual laser, which will deal damage, so be careful. What you need to do is anytime you see the bottommost satellite shoot out a thin beam, jump immediately afterwards and hold the jump button to maintain as much height as possible to avoid the laser. Whenever you see the middlemost satellite shoot out a laser beam, dodging this one is kind of based on luck, I'm not going to lie, because let's say you have a hill upcoming and you have to jump over the hill, but you jump right when that laser fires, that is going to immediately result in a hit. So you kind of have to play it really smart, get really good at the timing so that you can jump ahead of time to get over the hill and then dodge the laser. When you've dodged all the lasers, he'll once again start chasing you really quickly. Eventually he'll stop, jump over and attack him, and you're good to go. For the 4th hit, once again, he's going to have the anti-grav. Just make sure you jump ahead of time, dodge the energy balls, and this time I wasn't fast enough to dodge them as quickly as I wanted to, so I was kind of left suspended over the air when he turned off the anti-gravity, but luckily I was suspended right on top of his head, so when I fell down, I immediately dealt him damage. Now you got 4 hits in, all you need to do is get 2 more hits in. Easily, what I recommend you do, wait until he gets really far down so that he can do his stupid spinning attack, which is so difficult to dodge. Just don't even bother doing that the normal way. Just pull out Avatar and use the Chaos Power, and that should deal those final 2 hits to be able to end the boss fight and beat it once and for all. That wasn't so hard, was it? Wait till we get to Trip's story. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I know I'm really late, but I really hope this helped out somebody who's getting into Superstars late. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Massive shout out to all the channel members, man. You guys are insane. We got Paxonic Gaming, Mr. Needlemouse, Hashim Ali, Speeder Light, Stifigener, James, Nostalgia Addict, Goku Black, MLM0130, The Tunes Maker, and Neon Flick. If you'd like to become a channel member, be sure to hit that join button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.